Teaching log 17. This week I'm going to give my students a chance to work on their essays in class. I'm planning on starting off class by having them do a free write outlining the event and ask their peers questions, and then have them just write for the rest of the class. They can write on a piece of paper, outline it, ask themselves questions. They can talk to a peer and discuss their essay at hand, and also give them a chance to breathe with this assignment, because it's not a hard assignment. Reaching 4 pages is hard, or getting to a total of 4 to 6 pages is hard. But if they have difficulties with this essay, I will be there to help ask them certain questions that they should consider including in their essay. Today, and particularly, I'm thinking of starting off my class with them having to do a free write where they write about the event. Just something about the event, a couple minutes, and I want them to outline it. Afterwards, I want them to kind of mention what they're planning on writing about, and if there's somebody who's working with on the same exact thing, say the first day of school, I want them to pair up and ask them questions, ask each other questions what school, how did you feel, what happened on your first day, things like that. And they can together kind of create a plot diagram for their own story. During this, I do want my students to come talk to me about concerns about their essay, and in general, because I typically don't have a chance to talk to all of my students during class, and this will be a really good opportunity for them, especially since they don't really come into my office hour. Before this week, nobody has come into my office, and this kind of gives me a chance to talk to them one-on-one and encourage them to come into my office and email me if they can't make my office hour, because I'm willing to work with them. I'm on campus so many hours already as it is, as a student and as a teacher, and for a lot of other things. I'm willing to stay a little bit longer or come in a little bit earlier to meet with some of these students. So I'm going to do that in person as well. And this also gives me an understanding of where they are at. Some of the students that have received their first essay do not want the same exact grade for their next essay, so I think this is a really good opportunity for that. But I don't see this class being used up in its entirety. But Thursday is going to be peer review day. So as much work they can get done in class today is better for them, because they have more to get reviewed on Thursday. For peer review, I'm planning to do a reverse outline where they get into groups, and if they can outline what their peer has written in a plot diagram form, then that means that the student who originally wrote the essay is succeeding, and if anything, they will know what they need to include after their peer reads it, what details they need, because this essay has to continue audience awareness. You need to be aware of who your audience is, and by doing that, you have to provide a lot of information. So I'm interested to see how this class goes. Again, it's mostly going to be conferencing for me, but for my students, it's going to give them a chance to just work. I am going to make an announcement where I do not want them to be on their phone texting. They can exchange information if they want, but it would be much better for them if they are not on their phones texting each other, or just browsing the internet, because when are you going to get a chance where you can work in class like this? And then Thursday's peer review. Yeah, I'm in for an interesting class until I come back. I'm back from my class. My students all met up with me individually for about 3 to 4 minutes each so I can get through everybody. During that time, I asked my students to sign up for a time to meet with me outside of office hours. I extended my office hour for next week. So instead of being from 10 to 11, no, from 11 to 12, it's now going to be from 8:30 to 12. I usually do come on campus earlier and work on some individual things for myself, but I'm willing to open myself up for my students to come. There are times I'm on campus and just head out of my office. I'm telling them to come meet me there too. And I asked all of my students to email me their first paragraph, their introduction paragraph of their narrative, so they can talk up, so I can get an idea where it is that they're going and kind of give them a mini inner outline about this as well. Next class is going to be peer review, so I'm just going to give them a worksheet and that they should work on, and look at grammar, look at syntax, look at the flow, the structure of it. So that's something that they need to focus on. I've referred multiple students to a certain narrative that I remember reading that are more thought inducive instead of like action and narrative and action and dialogue. So I have a lot to do today for myself actually, but I'm excited to talk to my students individually for more than just like 2-3 minutes. And I actually also went to go observe a peer who taught his class a little bit differently, but it was really interesting to see how the structure and the dynamic in the class is different than mine. It's more lecture based, but the setup of the room is more round table like, and everybody gets to see each other. They treat each other equally, and the professor gets to see everybody at the same time. So that's a really good thing. It's kind of like what I am used to in grad school, but in an undergrad class it seems to work really well because everybody has a chance to talk. But that's it for today. I have to go write this worksheet and the sign up sheet. So until next time.